Good afternoon. I'm Randy Clayton. I am one of the pastors here at Westminster Presbyterian Church, and we want to welcome those of you who are here in person in the sanctuary, as well as those of you who are joining us online. We are glad that we have the opportunity as we prepare for Christmas to enjoy some wonderful handbell music. I want to say a word of thanks to Sue Spilecki, who played the Tower Chime. She's right up there. Thank you, Sue. We are glad you are here and looking forward to hearing the Wilmington Handbell Ensemble today. We express our gratitude to all the members of the group and to their artistic director, Kerry Dietz, for bringing this concert here today. If you haven't done so already, I would invite you to silence cell phones or other noisy devices. Thank you again and enjoy the concert.
Thank you very much. We are the Wilmington Handbell Ensemble, and I'm Kerry Dietz, the artistic director. Welcome, and welcome to those who are viewing us via the magic of live stream as well. So this is a celebration in many ways. This is the 25th anniversary. It's our silver anniversary of providing concerts for the surrounding area. So this year. So we were founded in 2000, and this is our 25th anniversary, which is really exciting. It's also the anniversary of it's the 10th anniversary of our Christmas CD, A Little Bit of Christmas. That opening piece was not on the CD, but we are performing that in a festival in March. So we kind of thought we ought to learn it and include it on our Christmas concert, since it is a Christmas carol. So without further ado, the rest of the concert will be A Little Bit of Christmas. And the first track is Ukrainian Bell Carol Fantasy. The next selection is the oldest tune on the program. in your program, it actually says dates back to the 13th century as a plain song. Some other sources have said it goes all the way back to the 11th century. It is from France. If it goes back to the 11th century, that means it's probably around the time of the Notre Dame Cathedral being built in the 1000s. So it's pretty old. It is a plain chant, like I said. We tend to sing it to the text of the Father's love begotten. The change ring part of it is the introduction and kind of appears throughout. The change ringing is this unique English concept of ringing tower bells, depending on how many tower bells you have in the church tower, and they would pull them with ropes. And if you say have 4 bells, like what Fred Grayman has used for this introduction, it would be a series of mathematical combinations of those bells. So you're going to hear at the beginning 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 1, 4, 3, and then 2, 4, 1, 3, and then 4, 2, 3, 1. And that's the change. And then that appears throughout the introduction, and then the tune, Divinum Mysterium, emerges from that. Masters in this hall, hear ye news today, tidings of great joy this merry Christmas day. This carol is somewhat of a hybrid in that the text probably originated in England. The tune actually comes from 17th century French dance tune, dance folk song, which kind of reminds us that the word carol in French means dance. And carols were meant to not only be sung, but they were meant to be danced to. And they originated really as folk music, as a contrast with that piece we just heard. Because many folks were like, what is this chant stuff, you know? So they wanted something that they had a good tune, had a good beat they could dance to, right? And that's essentially how a lot of our carols originated. This one has some dynamic contrast in the dynamics, and also has a driving bass part in it with mallets pretty much throughout, and some melody time in the bass as well. So Masters in this hall. Thank you. You think you could dance to that? Yeah. So the next carol is a local carol, actually. Episcopal priest Phillips Brooks was serving Church of the Holy Trinity, Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia, when he wrote the words as a gift to his congregation in 1868. He had supported the North during the Civil War and passionately opposed slavery. On April 23, 1865, He gave a sermon as President Abraham Lincoln's body lay in state at Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Shortly after, Brooks took a year sabbatical for peace and healing. He went to the Holy Land in December and was in Bethlehem on Christmas Eve, 1865, and thus the inspiration for this great hymn. The church organist, choir master, Louis Redner, who also was the Sunday school superintendent, he wore many hats, Louis Redner wrote the tune that we sing in the United States. This arrangement by our founder, Michael Hellman, also includes the tune to the English carol, Once in Royal David's City. And it's introduced on the hand chimes in this piece. And by the way, you've heard something other than bells. We're also using choir chimes or hand chimes, which are like big tuning forks. I think, yeah, there we are. Have more of a mellow sound to them. Michael dedicated this piece to the Wilmington Handbell Ensemble. Greensleeves is a good example of how both hymns and carols kind of have odd beginnings. A lot of times the text and the tune were not written for each other initially, unlike O Little Town of Bethlehem, which they were. Greensleeves started out, the tune started out as an English folk song from the 17th century. Again, some sources say 16th century. The text by William Dix was not, that we sing at Christmas, "What Child Is This?" was not added to it until 1865. So, and then it was wedded, the tune and the text were wedded together. Kathy Mockelbust is a wonderful arranger of handbell music. She's a professional percussionist, and so a lot of times she adds some percussion to her handbell arrangements. This one, even though it's a tune from England, because of the setting she gives it, has a very ethereal, kind of mystic, almost Middle Eastern feel to it. shepherds, ye children of earth, come ye, bring greetings to yon heavenly birth. This is another hybrid kind of carol. The tune, originally it says the tune originated in Bohemian area of Germany. Actually, it's based on a Czechoslovakian folk song, and then it kind of migrated over into Bohemia. This was in the early 19th century. The text then was written by Karl Riedel in 1890. So at the beginning, you're going to hear, since this is a carol about shepherds, the bells at the beginning are going to kind of be imitating bagpipes, a bagpipe like a shepherd would play. And then the melody is mostly in the bass and the battery of the bells. It does appear in the treble at times. But there's this pulsing tempo and insistent rhythmic figure throughout the piece that captures the excitement and anticipation of the shepherds on their way to find the Christ child. Shepherds sounded pretty excited to get there, huh? Yeah. So, Carol of the Wise Men is, we go to Puerto Rico. This is actually an original Puerto Rican folk carol, and it's in the United Methodist hymnal. I believe it's in the Presbyterian hymnal as well. This arrangement by Fred Graham is really interesting, that even though it's from Puerto Rico, the arrangement is, again, a very Middle Eastern kind of sound to it. The opening introduction of running eighth notes in the treble bells, Fred Grayman says, is to imitate the bells on the harnesses of the camels as they trod through the desert with the wise men following the star to the Christ child.
Of what we have. We will provide you an opportunity to give in just a moment. The offering we receive momentarily supports the music program here at Westminster Church and also helps us provide high-quality concerts. We invite you to give and give generously. We suggest a donation of $20. However, larger or smaller gifts are certainly appreciated and invite you to give as you are able. I'd invite the ushers to come forward and collect this offering. I would invite all here to join us on Sunday mornings for worship at 9:30. We are an inclusive, welcoming congregation. We prize high-quality worship and music. We provide amazing spiritual formation activities for children and adults. We work hard to share peace and justice throughout the world, and we invite all people of goodwill to join us. On the back of the program are a listing of and a brief description of our services of worship on Christmas Eve. We invite you to join us for one, two, or all three of the services. They are all different. We look forward to seeing you again, and just to note, while the offering is being received, we hope you enjoy the offertory solo, which is offered by our Director of Music and organist, Tony Thurman.
Thank you, Tony. That was great. What a wonderful piece. God rest ye merry, gentlemen. Punctuation is everything. So they may be merry gentlemen at times, but in this case, the Old English is referring to that phrase, God rest ye merry, probably means more like God make you mighty, similar to Robin Hood and his merry men. They were probably Robin Hood and his mighty men is what they were thinking when that phrase came about. So this arrangement by Kevin McChesney has a driving malleted bass part to it. And again, we think about carols being something you can dance to. However, for the most part, this is in 7/8. So good luck with that. In the middle of it, then, he adds another carol, Noel Novelet, a French carol, which we generally sing we now at Christmas, too, or Now the Green Blade Rises. So you can do that at either Christmas or Easter. But this is a great arrangement of God Rest Ye Merry, Gentlemen. Bass. How about the bass? Woo. Well, we come to another arrangement by Kathy Mockelbust. First, Noel. And Noel is kind of an odd word. We associate it, we think of it as meaning Christmas. The French actually literally means news or good news. And there's an English word, Noel, N-O-W-E-L, Old English word. It's more of a shout of joy. So kind of an odd word. This carol is 17th century, so 1600s, kind of a story carol, because it mentions in the verses the shepherds and the wise men and the birth of Jesus. This arrangement starts out very meditative and quiet, but then there's two measures of random ringing, and out of that it just bursts into this joyful, grandiose finish, the first Noel. It's a marvelous piece, isn't it? Just an amazing arrangement. So in 1965, I think I was there when it premiered. In 1965, Charles Schulz was at the height of his career with the comic strip Peanuts. And that was then, in 1965, that was when A Charlie Brown Christmas first aired on TV. So the creators had this idea of contacting Vince Guaraldi to do this soundtrack, but they weren't really sure how this jazz music was going to work with the animation. Well, it worked, and it just became an instant classic. Both the animation and the story and the ending with Linus telling the true meaning of Christmas and kind of bringing it all together right at the end. But also the music has really stood on its own and has become a Christmas classic every year. This arrangement by Kevin McChesney includes Christmas Time is Here, Skating, O Tannenbaum, and of course, Linus and Lucy. So, Jingle Bells is not really a Christmas song. It is probably the most commonly sung American carol in the world. It was actually written as a winter song by James L. Pierpont. It was probably written in 1850 for the sleigh races held in Medford, Massachusetts in late November. So around Thanksgiving, actually. But we all love this tune. This Jingle Bell Boogie is not your grandmother's jingle bells. So hold on to your hats. we go back to England with We Wish You a Merry Christmas. This, which is a kind of a party carol. So all the carolers would go around in Old England, singing Christmas carols and hoping to get some figgy pudding, or whatever that is. No, maybe something a little stronger, which you'll hear in the next piece, the last piece. But this arrangement by Cynthia Dobrinsky is kind of a theme and variation, and it's kind of a kitchen sink arrangement of handbell techniques. I mean, you've seen mallets and the bells being played with mallets. This includes that. It also includes martellato, which is where the bell is tapped into the pad. There's gyros, where you ring the bell and then do this. There's, I don't know, all sorts of things. There's plucking, where you actually pluck the clapper on the inside of the bell on the table. Lots of variation. So it's kind of a theme and variation of We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us in this celebration of a 10th anniversary CD release and also our 25th silver anniversary this year. We do have 2 CDs for sale. A Little Bit of Christmas and is the Christmas CD that you've just heard. Last piece is on it as well. The other one is called Theme Songs to Ring By. It's all TV and movie themes. The Addams Family, music from Wizard of Oz, Magnificent Seven, Star Wars, Downton Abbey, Game of Thrones. We've got a fan here. So it's really a fun CD. I have a secret to tell before we go into our next piece. We have 16 ringers this season, and 3 of them came down with COVID a week ago. So Sandy and Mark Keeney are home watching us, and I believe Donna Heineman is as well. So that brought us down to, let's see, we had then 13 ringers. Fortunately, so what happens is on these pieces, we don't use 16 people on a lot of the pieces, so we have maybe 2, sometimes 3 people sitting out or playing percussion, okay? So those folks that sat out on a given piece during the fall and our previous concerts had to jump in, and we had a rehearsal today starting around 1:15, and we also had to add a guest ringer. Where is Mandy? Oh, Amanda Riffert, who rings with First State Ringers out of Newark United Methodist. So anyway, we managed to do it, I think. So, anyway, that's the secret. So so we do wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, Happy Solstice, Happy Holidays. This next last piece in the program is another party song, wassail song. Again, the carolers go around and hope to get a bowl of a wassail, which you probably don't want to know what's in it, but that's the bit. So this is a wassail song, Here We Come A-Caroling, arranged by Leroy Anderson and arranged for handbells by Martha Lynn Thompson. So thank you again, and we do wish you happy holidays and Merry Christmas. we wish you a Merry Christmas, and you get to join in. It's very short. So, and again, we do wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you.